All right. Let's get started. Hello, all. This is the All Black Everything Roundtable, which we have Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, and consider becoming a YouTube member, hitting that join button, supporting the channel that way. If you like having a YouTube channel where you can get all of that content, right? Where you can be delivered daily. Then help us out, help us maintain that YouTube channel by becoming a member, by hitting that join button, and consider coming down to the channel sometime, the Twitch channel, right? And while we do this live, we love to have you. In fact, someone came today, which is great. We love to see that. But yeah, so we'd love to see you here as well. Okay, I'm going to start introducing everyone, and we'll get started. Let's go to Black American Made. How are you?
We can't hear you.
Are you muted? You're not
He's
muted.
talking to somebody.
Just trying to figure out his audio.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll keep pushing. Let's go to Azzy. Azzy is back with us. We haven't had you here in a while, Azzy. I feel like something's always changing with your setup, right? Like this color thing you got going on, this African thing you got, that wasn't there before, right? That wasn't there. The color thing. I don't know what to call it. I don't know.
You don't recognize these colors, Prime?
I mean, they're African related, right?
Oh my! Enough said. Right? Enough. I love you, bro. I love you, bro.
Sorry.
I know you, bro. You gotta.
Did I say something dumb?
You gotta hang out with more black
This is
people.
Kwanzaa? I don't Kwanzaa colors? I don't know. What am I
Come
missing
on,
here?
bro.
What am I supposed to?
Somebody say Prime, bro. Say Prime, bro. My
What?
man been watching too much anime. And you gotta get the Black Sands comics, man. Tune in, man.
Black Sands, yeah, I follow Black Sands on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
a
started
good dude.
they have a YouTube as well. But yeah, thank you for having me, Prime. I appreciate you. Happy Black History Month, everybody. Happy Black History Month. Ashe. Ashe. All right. Ashe. All right. I don't know if there's a lot of black people in this audience, but for those who do understand what I'm saying, I appreciate you and I see you. I love you. All right. So to my fellow panelists, appreciate you guys. Good to see you. All right. Wiggle looking as loquacious and magnificent as ever, man.
I had to get my lighting right so that I look lightest on the panel, so that I'm superior.
Man, you know, well, that's interesting. We're gonna be talking about light-skinned people today. All right, so all right, good to see you, Top Dolphin. All right, man.
Hey, nice to see you, Azzy. It's always
All
great.
right. Black American Made. I subscribe to your YouTube, man. All right. I see you, man. You still grinding. Jake Cook, nice to see you again. Appreciate you. And Monty, this is our first time. All right, this is our first time together, man.
Hey.
I appreciate you, man. Shout out to the black TikTok creators, man. I deleted mine because I didn't want China to have my face, but and my voice. All right.
Nah, that's real.
But,
That's right, the CCP, right? We're like, look. All right, we got this plan.
But
we
I
got this
appreciate
plan.
you guys.
We got
all
this Silken Road plan, right? And it's just missing one component. Gotta get this guy named Azzy's face, right? Like, once we do that, look, we're gonna plaster his face all over Asia, right? And slowly, countries will fall. Women will be paralyzed by their lust for him, right? And so their societies will collapse. This is the plan. So thank you, Azzy, for saving the world, really, from Chinese domination. Keep your
Prime,
face
you
on
kill
TikTok.
me.
That's exactly why I had to delete my face, man. I had to go underground.
No, just admit it. TikTok was a hellhole. You know it's true. You know it's true.
No, I got off of thought TikTok and I got back to food TikTok, and I'm doing all right. I started I made something. It was pumpkin spice cheesecake. I made that. There's this Chinese lady who's like really hip into like pop culture, and she was using she would use modern hip hop music in her background and like anime themes, and then she would teach people how to cook. And I loved it so much. My mom and I made the pumpkin spice cheesecake for my birthday. It was amazing. I love TikTok.
Okay.
Just not with my face on it.
All right. Oh, sure.
Just imagine like the laughter, looking at the TikTok, your mom and your hands all together, stirring the pot together, like laughing joyously.
So, and I want to like yell at the people in my Twitch chat. You guys didn't fucking know what that cloth was either, all right? Don't like come at me. You guys had no fucking clue. None of you. None of you had the answer in chat. Not one of you. So don't come at me. Like you have no idea. So fuck you.
Somebody said kente cloth. Somebody said kente cloth.
Oh, is it just a kente cloth? Like, oh, I thought
That's a kufi. That's a kufi.
A kufi?
Bro, it's
Okay.
kufi, man.
Oh no, but you mentioned a comic.
Golly,
It's a
bro.
hat. It's a hat, not a cloth. You can see the top of it.
No, I can't see the top of it. Hold on. Maybe.
Yeah, OnlyFacts said kente cloth.
Yeah, but hold on. What I was asking, I didn't look. All I said was, "Hey, that hadn't been there before," right? And then I didn't use the name immediately, and then you're like, "Oh, wow, I guess you don't know what it is." I'm not like, "Oh, is this something special?" No, it's not. It's just a kente.
I know
cloth.
it's something African. It's on the tip of my tongue.
No, I mean I knew it was an African pattern, but I didn't. I thought you meant it was something special.
You
Alright,
bringing
look,
me back to
whatever.
my days when I was living in the suburbs, man.
All right,
with
man.
with the single white moms.
Okay.
You know, I love it.
All right, we're keeping it pushing. Well, look, we're going to J Cook Sonata, right? Skipping over Wiggle because fuck that guy. J Cook, thanks for being here, all right? And thanks for being wholesome, all right? Not like the rest of these fucking degenerates I got on my panel. J Cook, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yes, you're not very
Sorry, I
good.
did push to talk and I kind of want to take it off. I'm wholesome though. Thank you. Wow. I'm wholesome. That's amazing. Yeah, let's keep it that way. I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Great. Anyway, so now we'll go to Top Dolphin. Top Dolphin is here with us once again. Top Dolphin, one of our most elusive, apparently, panelists. I'm glad you're around. I know you were quite busy before.
I'm
so.
not that elusive, okay? I just work night shift. That's all it is.
Okay.
This time of year it's a little rough because I have to go to work at like 7 p.m. every day. But when I can be here, I love being here. It's always a great time. Nice to see some familiar faces and some new faces. It's always great to see new people too. But thanks for having us, Prime. I appreciate it. Today I was like, I didn't let you invite me because you always say you're the man with 1,000 invites. So I was like, I gotta ask this time, all right? So I did.
Okay. Well, and I do appreciate that. I was actually quite excited. So thank you. Next we have Not Eli Monty back with us once again with 30 frames per second, which is quite new. So the new technology in the Monty house. Eli, how are you?
I am fantastic. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, some people from my crowd on TikTok got in like Prime stream and came to watch because I am live streaming this right now on my TikTok channel. So hopefully people are hopping in. But I'm ready to get into some good topics and have some good discussion about black things.
Okay.
Like the kente cloth.
Like the kente. All right, man.
You don't hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, there you are. There he is.
There we go.
There he is.
So
Okay.
I didn't have my mic plugged in. I'm at least the streamer.
Yo, here I was like being like, you'd be like, yo, there was a software issue, like something didn't work with banana
was going to give you
meter.
the benefit of the doubt.
Strawberry banana meter didn't work with like Oculus meter 5000. So
That's what I was thinking. That's where I was. I was like, bro, something. I'm tripping. But no, yeah, I wasn't plugged in.
No, this is why IT people always just say, "Did you turn it off and on again?
Yeah.
Did you plug it in?" Like,
This is basic help desk support. Exactly that. I've been there, right? Like, no, like, and people get mad at you, right? But they get super mad at themselves when they find out, no, it actually wasn't plugged in. when you say that to them.
I swore it was. My bad. But yeah, thanks I'm even after that fault, I've never been wrong. I'm a super genius, and I'm about to learn y'all boys something, and ladies.
Okay.
I like the confidence.
Appreciate it.
All right. Let's oh, I almost forgot. Wiggle. I was super excited to have you here, right? So excited that you would never slip my mind. So Wiggle, you're always at the top of my mind. In fact, I think. So Wiggle, how are you?
I mean, I'm surprised you're bringing this forward this time. Usually, you know, there's a DM once a week being like, "Hey, can you come on this panel? I would love to have you." And it's like nice to see you just being more forward about our secret relationship. You know, just saying it out in the open. But anyway, like, I'm glad to be here. I got my lighting right. You know, for most people, it's all about getting like their either like their bisexual lighting going with their like blue and then their and their pink, or it's about getting like certain things in the background. For me, it's about getting that brightness just about right so that I look like the most powerful black person on the all black panel. Like as you can see, based off the first topic, I have the most say because if you can see versus everyone else here, I'm the most powerful person here, clearly, because that's how it works, right? At least that's what society tells me, right? And I enjoy the first topic more than the second one, and I can't wait to get into it.
Okay.
He only has the lighting to show off his see-through tower case.
Sorry. I gotta here's what I gotta do. I gotta push back on some like slander that was just spoken here, right? When I send these invites out, they don't say I would love to have you. What? Like, you get a forum invite. Every motherfucker here has the exact same thing, and I'll read it to you. It says, "Hey, would you like to be part of All Black Everything tonight from 8 to 11:30 p.m. Eastern?" And now list the topics.
Don't link the DM. Don't leak the DMs.
That's all it says. You get a forum invite, so I can just like quickly copy and paste
Man,
it
leaking
down
the
the list.
DMs.
What is this?
Man,
I
give up
would
this
love to
Tinder
have you
game out here, bro.
Yeah. No, I mean, I figured it, but I really realized it because like occasionally we'll have like conversations about the panel before you send me the invite, and the invite will just be the same. It's just like, okay, and I'll be like, oh, well, we already, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's a.
I respect it. You gotta get them invites out. He ain't got time to be sending tailor-made messages to us, right?
He's lying to all of you. He tells me specifically, like, Wiggle, you have to come on the panel, or else it's not gonna happen. And like, and make sure to get it to me. Like honestly, it's funny. Like, I heard from some of you guys that you get the invites like the day of. He sends it to me a week in advance, and he has me verify it. You know.
I will fucking stream my DMs if we go on this land. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, after that, it's throwing me off. Let's get to the first topic. Topic 1. Westworld star, and I have no idea how to pronounce her name, but I'm giving it a try. Westworld star Tandy Newton is apologizing to
Tandy.
Is it?
It's
I
Tandy.
thought it was Tandy. No, I thought it was Tandy, but then I saw her name. I'm like, this can't be right. How is that how you spell Tandy?
Suburbs, bro.
No,
I'm back. You
bullshit.
can't say black
Bullshit.
names,
That's not how you
Prime.
spell Tandy. Fuck you.
That's Tandy.
No,
Her
that's
name is
not-
pronounced as Tandy.
It's Tandway. You can say Tandy.
Oh, yeah.
Tandaway.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Oh,
wait till
okay.
y'all make up your mind, and I'll choose the first one.
Oh, Lee, bro.
Tandy.
He
Let
like
me say black names.
Azzy because he got the
We back
fucking
in
the
the- hey,
Kente
Aaron.
cookie.
Hey,
I
I
know,
just like
wait.
cookie, so I'm just gonna believe him. Then Jay Cooks, I believe more than Azzy, so I'm just gonna wait. Does anyone else?
No, it's just
disagree?
sometimes she has the W there. Sometimes people don't say it with the W. It's like Kamala and Kamala. But you know, black people.
Carmela?
Carmela.
Like caramel.
That's her
Sometimes-
name, but
sometimes-
sometimes you know people just mispronounce it. And she's okay
But
with
it's
it.
not
So.
the Wandaway. Where are we
I
at?
thought it was
Elementary school?
Tandy because I referred to her in the past as Tandy Newton because she
wait.
does a good job in Westworld, right? And other things,
Hey,
right?
Aaron,
But
where
she
you
does
at?
she does a fantastic job. And I've heard of her spelled Tandy, but what I thought was that Tandy was like the her stage, like you know, like how people from Asia, right? They'll have like their birth name, and then they'll have like a name that English people can say, right? They specifically have a separate name. So I thought like, oh, it was the closest thing to her name. It's Tandy, but like her actual name is Thandaway. But okay, Tandy, Tandy Newton, whatever, Tandy Newton.
Andy.
Shut
Tandy.
up. Okay. All right, like Westworld star Tandy Newton is apologizing to darker skinned actresses for the influence her light skin has played in advancing her career. She feels she has gotten roles specifically because of her lighter skin, where other black women wouldn't have. An article on the website The Root criticizes Newton for this apology. They imply that it is either insincere, insufficient, or both. Do you think the criticisms within the article are fair? Should Newton, as was suggested, turn down roles and suggest other black women? Is it too much being put on one single actress' shoulders? Yeah, so she's again, Tandy is a great actress. And if you've seen Westworld, HBO's Westworld, then you know who I'm talking about. She was the android that was looking for her daughter, right? So she was a light-skinned African American woman, and so she makes this like tearful apology. She's having this interview, and just kind of just comes up, and she says that like her mother is black, and it bothers her that other black women don't think that she's representing them because of her lighter skin, and it's a whole thing, right? But then this article hits back at her, saying that this seems like it's insufficient or just like ridiculous. So anyway, I wanted to hear your opinions on it. So we'll start with Black American Made. Hopefully he hasn't dismantled his whole setup by now. Bam, go ahead.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. Can y'all hear me now for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
We weren't guessing at what you were saying before. I was like, oh yeah,
I
it was
thought so.
pretend
Like they was just playing with me. I don't know. But no, I think that like I think what she was saying was legitimate, but I don't know. It seems like it's not equivalent, but it's like the cousin of the people who like apologize for being white. Like I don't know if anybody asked for this. She can't control that she's light skinned. She has no responsibility to turn down any like individual opportunities because what we seek is systemic change, not an individual person. Plus, it would be really, I don't know, like I would feel disrespected. Like, oh yeah, I got the job, but I turned it down because I think you were better than me. But they didn't think that. They thought I was better. I don't know. That just feels really weird, and I think that's a strange expectation to hold for people.
Okay, let's go to Assy.
Thandiwe, are you present? Thandiwe, are you Tandy?
It's Tandy.
Thandiwe, are you here? No, I'm playing with you, bro. I'll play you.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna kill us tonight. Like, just destroy us every time.
Oh man. Tandy, no one was asking for this apology. No one was asking for this apology. I didn't see Westworld. My family saw Westworld. I was in the other room, not watching Westworld. You know, I didn't like the vibes. I'm glad you guys saw it, so you guys can tune in. But just like, oh, you didn't either? Okay, great.
No. First time
Great.
for me.
Great. I see that. We got some regular folk here, all right? Nobody's checking for Tandy. Nobody is checking for Tandy. I don't see Will Smith. I don't see Vanessa Williams apologizing. I don't see Halle Berry. Top three light-skinned artists of all time. Of actors of all time. I never see them apologizing for being light-skinned in any role. And you know what? There's a list on IMDb for light-skinned actors and actresses. He's number 52. No one's checking for Tandy. I'm sorry. No one asked for this apology. Shoot. Shaymar from what's that cop show? What's that? Even Shaymar Moore is now apologizing for being light-skinned. You know, and you know, it got so bad that black people memed her, right? She would walk up and embrace other actors. So there's a picture of her embracing Angela Davis. And she's like, "You look like my mother." And there's another one where she's embracing Whoopi Goldberg. And he's like, "You look like my mother." And I was just like, Tandy, you really should not have just said anything. You should have just put out your last movie. Because apparently this is like the movie she's talking about. Like I went and saw an interview. It's for like one of the last movies she's gonna do it as an actress. And it's about the role is about an individual who's facing prejudice. And you know what? She even had the audacity to talk about she has faced more prejudice from African American women than anybody, which I find funny, you know, because you're black in the UK, you're black in Britain, you know, and there's so many documentaries. The documentaries got so bad that Britain started pulling some of the documentaries, right? You gotta have to look for BBC clips. So like how she's speaking about prejudice from African American women, which is probably a vocal minority on Twitter. I just don't understand why Tandy is speaking up, man. Like I said, bring it to original point. You don't see any other prevalent light-skinned actor apologizing for taking roles, especially the American ones. You know what's really bad? And I believe Beauvais said this as well. The only reason somebody might be mad is because she's from the UK. All right, and she's playing American people. So that's probably why American black people are mad. She's a UK black person playing, because I don't remember any movie where she's using her original accent. I don't remember. I didn't even know she was from the UK. I had to look it up. I had no idea. So that's probably why I could see some black people getting upset. But no one was checking for Tandy. She didn't have to apologize.
What the fuck, Assy? Like, what the shit was that? What was any
from
of
that? Was
that?
him calling Shamar Moore Shaymar. That's all I like. I just stopped listening. I was like, he say Shaymar?
What?
Is
Will
Shamar?
Smith light skinned? Like what? Okay, okay, like just whatever,
Yeah,
whatever.
awesome.
Let's just.
There's a light skin list on IMDb. I'm not lying.
There's a
I'm
light skin list on
fucking
IMDb,
teacher.
guys. Guys, the light skin
Will
list on
Smith is
IMDb.
light-skinned.
Let's go to Wiggle before I lose my goddamn mind. Wiggle, please.
All right. I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah, Will Smith is kind of light skin, you know? It's kind of like, you know, yeah, but other than
My
that,
color.
as he is
You're
really,
really
that was
light-skinned.
really funny. I gotta say, that was really funny. I'm sitting here like, I'm like, what is he gonna say? He's like, they're irrelevant. They're number 52 on IMDb's list on top, light skin. I'm like, yo, they made a list. And then this man went to like page 4 and he's like, there she is. I'm like, I'm dead. I'm dead. At some point, you gotta be looking through the list and you're like, oh yeah, they are an actor. And before you get to Tandaway, I'm like, yo, there's gotta be so many forgotten heroes on the way to 52. Like, you just look at all that shit and you're like, oh shit, I haven't seen that person in a minute. That's Michael Ealy? Damn. Damn, what happened to him? Like, oh, it's like the fucking, what's that shit in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they go to the fucking zone, the fucking,
Shadow Realm?
Yeah, it's
The
like they
Shadow
go to
Realm?
the Shadow Realm after a movie or some shit.
How did you
And
forget
see
the
them
Shadow
again.
Realm? That's a staple.
Oh, I forgot Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm gonna be honest. Anyway, man, I don't know. I seen that apology, and I've seen Westworld. I've seen that shit. I also feel like, damn, I didn't know that person was like British until like after the fact. I'm like, damn, I know that shit pisses off a lot of Americans when they're like, you're trying to give roles to people who are minorities. They mean like American minorities. So I'll be like, yeah, we gave the role to a black person, and they're like, no, you don't get the point. You know, it's like one of them things. Other than that, I was like, the apology was super weird, bro. It was like, well, it's me, even though I get hurt the most from other black women, that's not what matters. And then that's exactly what matters when she said it, because that's all I was thinking about after she said it. And then from there, she's like, she did the crying in the clip. It was like a minute 40 clip or something. Bro, you gonna tell me I'm gonna believe an actor crying? I'm gonna believe an actor crying? Come on, son. You're gonna cry on command and be like, it really deeply affected me that much. You like what? Like she like 40 something or something? Racism isn't gonna make you cry anymore. That shit made you cry when you were 20. That shit made you cry when you're like 17. You ain't gonna be there on a TikTok being like, I got a job. And it was so sad, you know? Anyway, that's how I feel.
Wow, this is gonna be an interesting panel. I think it actually really is gonna be. I wish we had more. We had light skinned individuals here. We got only.
Wait,
the
give me a
blackest of
minute. Let
black.
me
Wiggle doesn't count. Wiggle doesn't count. Wiggle does not count. Wiggle does
lighten
not
up a
count.
bit.
Oh,
Let me
boy.
lighten
We are
up.
all the skin tone of Will Smith, and he is not
Yeah,
light skinned.
we only got the blackest of black here.
Wiggle
So
is
Wiggle
the
is
light
definitely
skin.
light
What do you
skin.
mean?
I couldn't
Wiggle
find.
is
Let me
the
like-
But I actually sent some
lighten up a
invites to
bit.
light skinned individuals, but
A little
unfortunately
lighter
couldn't
now.
join us here. Oh my god! All right. Anyway, moving on. Jay Cook, right? Jay Cook, please again, be the sensible one here. Be the voice of reason. Thank you.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to the other takes. They seemed interesting, to say the least. Yeah, I think the criticism so to give a little background, I do like Newton as an actress. I did know she was British. I'm surprised if all of you Westworld fans love Westworld, but you didn't know that she was British. Like, that's weird. I don't know.
I know.
Okay. Like, it's kind of clear that she's British. But I guess because of the industry that, like, I work in the film industry. And so I think, but I didn't see God's Country at Sundance, and I haven't heard anything good about it, but I haven't heard anything bad. That's just a preface. I think the criticisms in the article are, I guess they're fair, but I will also say that she did an article for like an interview for Vulture like 2 years ago and kind of said some of the similar things. And it seemed like most people were in support of what she was saying then, but the majority of the interview was about her sexual assault, so maybe that's why no one wanted to criticize it too deeply. I do think that, like, starting out in film as an actress, you kind of can't turn down a role, especially like when she was coming up. I don't think that would have been possible for her to get where she is now. She has 2 BAFTAs, Azzy. Those are actually pretty important awards. Yeah, I guess I just don't think that it should rest all on her. I do think she can be an advocate, and this was probably the space where she should have done that instead of saying more woe is me. But again, like, if you're going to use your platform in that way, maybe kind of do it a little bit better. I don't think it's anything that she said is new. Nothing she said is new to me, so.
Okay. Thank you for that. Once again, putting the rest of these gentlemen to shame. Good work, Jay. All right, let's go to Top Dolphin.
Okay. This might be the only time in history that I kind of agree with Azzy.
Oh, god damn
just
it.
a little bit.
These
I
guys
don't
are the
know.
worst.
But I don't know. He was kind of miming. This I don't know. It seemed the pressure on people to apologize for their race, like it like I remember like way back in the day the thing was like, oh yeah, like I'm sorry that I'm white. And I don't think it was like mainstream or anything, but like I specifically remember I had a friend whose sister was like, yeah, like made like this white girl at our school apologize for being white or whatever, and that was kind of cringe. And like that was the meme, but now like we unironically have like light-skinned actors apologize for like not being black enough, and I will always stand against like gatekeeping blackness. I can understand that like she probably has a different experience of her race, being a light-skinned person in like the UK compared to like dark-skinned African American women or like a dark-skinned African woman, but that doesn't mean that like she needs to apologize for being a successful actress. Like Tandy has like done amazing things. I haven't seen Westworld, but I've heard it's amazing. And like she should just keep doing the best that she can. And if she wants to do like if she wants to give back, she can like advocate for darker skinned actresses to get role, or she can try to do like the Jordan Peele thing where you like make more black stuff. I was gonna use the other guy who does it, but he does it bad, so I didn't want to use him as an
Oh,
example.
Tyler Perry.
We've talked
Tyler
about
Perry?
him. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about Tyler Perry because
Yeah.
well, I think some of his films are funny. It's all
They're
half of it's
they're
garbage.
just all garbage. Don't worry. Yeah, all 100%.
But yeah, but like you could do like the Jordan Peele thing where you try to like incorporate more black actors and stuff in your movies and stuff like that. And you don't have to do this thing where you're like, oh yeah, I was light skinned. I'm sorry. Like that's it's just cringe.
Okay. Let's go to not Eli Monty. I have a different opinion than all of you guys, so I'll put that out there. Get ready for that.
So the the arguments, I guess, are or at least what's going on here is a case of, I guess, colorism, and the benefits of going last is that you get to hear everybody else's spicy take. So I don't think as an actor myself, I agree with what Jay Cook said. You really cannot, how do I say, you really cannot like reject roles when you're using like acting as like your primary method of like income. And also the way in which he apologized, I'm sorry that I was chosen. Okay, King Arthur, whatever. I don't think she should, have to apologize for anything. If you're a good actress, you're a good actress. Like Jay Cook said, she's got awards. I mean, if she's got the credentials and she's like an actual like good actor, I mean, who cares? I mean, she got a role. She went out. She being an actor is not an easy thing. It's not as easy as a lot of people try to like make it out to be. She went out. She auditioned. She got the role fair and square. I don't think she should have to apologize, but I do think that the way in which she apologized was like kind of weird, and a very like a failed PR stunt, I guess. Like Wiggle said, crying for however long and it being like sort of insincere. Like you're rich. We know you probably don't mean it. Like I said, it was for publicity reasons. It was for publicity reasons, and this kind of also reminds me of the shit that was going on Twitter earlier today that my friend messaged me about the emojis, when it's like the white emojis and the Simpson emojis, the black emojis, or Simpson, the default emoji. That's kind of what this reminds me of. This gives me like a similar air of that. Like, come on now. There are bigger fish that need to be fried. I do think that, black women do need more, how do I say, representation in media, in pop culture, in film. But I don't think it's up to an actress who got cast into a role that the director chose her for when she auditioned to then come out and apologize for that. I think if anybody needs to apologize, if you think somebody needs to apologize, it needs to be directors that prefer to hire lighter-skinned actresses and actors for the roles that they have in their shows and productions, not the actress who's trying to find work. Again, like I've said this before on my platform, for some weird reason, we always go after the smaller person here. I'm not saying she's like the little guy because she's rich, but like you're going after the little guy here that's just a pawn in the game. You need to go after the big guy. You need to go after the king. And that's it.
Will Smith?
Oh boy. Anyway. Oh god, you guys are okay.
The Prince.
So
The Fresh Prince.
Jumping into it. Yeah, so
Okay.
Prime's opinion.
Yeah, I disagree. Actually, we actually got like a light skinned brother who just showed up.
None of y'all are like
Iro, move the Iro. You got an audio, the Discord. You're a mod.
Sorry, listen. I woke up like not even half an hour ago, okay? So like when I say I jumped in on this shit, I woke up, I saw y'all niggas talking about this. I'm like, wow. I read the article you sent me. I'm like, wow. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why are you apologizing like this? Why she do the let me like put my eyes down? Like, that shit's fucking wild. Like, bro, you're a class actress. But other than that,
Pyro is kind of light skinned, maybe, I guess.
As close as we got right tonight.
damn. You know what? You know what? God bless you, Prime. I'll let you handle this on your own.
I'm sorry,
Donate
Pyro.
to Pyro.
I'm-
Don't donate to Prime. We go. Rick, now let me stop. Part of me doesn't feel like she needs to apologize, but at the same time, I understand why she kind of does. Because I've grappled with a lot of shit that she's talking about in my actual life. Because my entire family is darker than me, and I'm the one nigga that's light skinned. So it's like, when we're talking about preferential treatment and shit, I know for a fact that I've been chosen more times and I've gotten benefits on behalf of my family. And like more so than like my brother or some shit because I'm lighter skinned. So like for me, I'm just sitting here like wondering like, is she onto something? Or is like she just like overplaying it to get the clout points? I'm not specifically sure, but it's just like one, you British, so it's like you crying about the wrong thing. And second is like part of me is like that apology felt condescending if you were actually sorry about it. So I'm just not sure how to feel about this. Part of me wants to be like, nah, you don't have anything to apologize for. But like, being light skin, I kind of understand it. Like I watched it happen in my real life. I can kind of understand where she's coming from. And I'm interested to hear everyone else's takes on it too. And that's one of the reasons I came in on the panel, because this is a good topic.
Okay. All right. So took us. I allowed you guys to take fucking forever to introduce yourselves. Like it took fucking forever before we got to the open panel. Except for Jay Cook. Jay is fine. She's better than the rest of you guys. So anyway, let's go. I think that this woman is touching on a real thing. So you may like not like her delivery of this, but she's touching on something absolutely real. Yes, colorism is a thing. Yes, people with lighter skin have an easier time. White people like people with lighter skin. Here's what it is. White people hold the reins of power, especially in Hollywood, right? And when it comes to and when you're dealing with actresses, right? What do actresses have to be? Like they have to be sexually appealing as well, right? For the most part, right? They have to be like desirable, and it's just the case that white America views black skin, specifically on black women, as undesirable, and we get this messages all the time, right? And so yeah, she's like saying this is a thing, and at the same time, like, and like we know it. I mean, like if you're in the black community, right? If you grew up around black people, unlike Azzy, if you grew up around black people, then you know that that the colorism between black people, right? Like the jealousy, like a lot of black women who are dark skinned, look, they see it, they experience it, they live that life, right? And then like their interactions with light skinned women can be explosive. If you've been in the black community, you've seen it happen before, right? You've seen it happen. So I don't know, she was touching on a bunch of real shit. So I didn't think it was so bad that she did this whole apology thing. Her delivery might not have been great, fair enough, but like the content of it all was fantastic. Especially if you just read what she said rather than like listen to it, just read what she said. Yeah, it seemed pretty reasonable.
I don't disagree with the content of what she said. Like I said, I just think that I don't think that individual people need to apologize for the complexion of their skin. Like I don't think that's useful or tangible or leads to any benefit. I also think that I also think while like dark skin representation is still an issue. We're not at a place where black women's representation is in general is still an issue, but like darker skinned women is still an issue. I think that it's something that is I think we are slowly addressing. Like you got Tika Sumpter, you got Gabrielle Union, you got Nia Long. They're like the concept of gorgeous, sexy, beautiful, dark skinned black women is a thing that like that is more common now than it was in like the 90s and 80s. Whenever you had like Pam and Gina, like where Pam was the buckhead, bad breath, ugly, ratchet black girl, and Gina was the beautiful light skinned woman that Martin loved. If you ain't seen Martin, then you missed that. But
Yeah.
overall,
Pretty
like
sure
I think
we've
that
all seen Martin. I'm pretty sure.
I hope so.
Hopefully, like
probably not. But yeah, like I said, I think that is being addressed. Like I think it's still an issue we need to talk about, but it's important to acknowledge the progress.
Anyone?
No
I mean, I
one
think,
asked
like I said-
Andy to apologize, man.
Like I said, I think but like I said, I think the problem isn't necessary. Like I think she should address the problem, yeah, but I don't think her apologizing is like the only problem I have is really like the apology. Like she's apologizing for something that is kind of out of her control. Like yeah, she can go audition, and like she needs work as an actor or actress. Sorry, as an actress, she needs work. But it's up to directors to say, you know what, I need to give this role to a darker skinned black woman because they need representation in media. Like I just don't think it's her place to necessarily apologize for something that she didn't even do. The director did. That person is the one who I think needs to apologize for, choosing a lighter skinned person over a darker skinned person.
I'm sorry, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, I don't think this bothers me on a few levels, right? One, I think that she is
You can
just
address it and bring light to it. That's perfectly fine. Like that's great.
people ask, and especially in lefty spaces, right? People ask people to check their privilege. That's what she was doing. She was checking her privilege. She was recognizing that she is in a place that others aren't, right? And again, you can if you guys just want to complain about her delivery all day, all right, well, whatever, sure.
What place?
But I'm talking
is she?
about the
Delivery.
actual content.
What place? Is she some prime actress that
Why does she have to
Everyone
be
is-
someone
why
with
does she
your
have to be like the
stature?
top actress?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
she's
think
actually
she
a
has to
great actress, but like
I don't
whatever.
think she has to be a
Because-
top
Not that
actress
it matters.
There's
It doesn't
tons, there
matter
are
what
tons
actress
of
level
light
she
skin,
is.
brown skin, cocoa, vanilla,
God.
black people of all colors, people who are lighter than her. What's her name? Zoe Kravitz. I never heard Zoe get up and start boo-hooing in front of a camera saying, "I'm sorry for."
What is
taking-
this?
But what does that have?
Whataboutism?
That literally
just
has
don't-
nothing to do with anything, Azzy. I've never heard like
Yeah.
Shut up, Ira.
John
Don't
Cena
interrupt
get up
me
in
with
front of a
nothing.
stage
Don't
like
interrupt me with
Terry
nothing.
Crews. Like this doesn't mean anything. Different actresses do different shit. I'm sorry, we live in a world where people
So
are
the
different. Azzy.
I
point
don't think
is,
she was
if you
checking her
missed
privilege. Like that,
So-
like checking your privilege is like not going on stage and saying like, "OMG, I got this because I'm the most qualified." No one, like, she wasn't
Yeah.
saying that, so I don't feel like she has to say the opposite. Like, "I'm sorry, I got a role." Like, that's
Exactly.
that's
I
not a
don't see how
delivery thing. That's not a delivery. That's like a merit of the thing she's saying. Shouldn't
Yeah,
have
I
been.
don't see
I feel it
any.
wasn't
I
relevant to
named
say.
Holly Berry, Vanessa Williams, Will Smith, people who are of high esteem, who have all the roles, and you never see them apologize.
So because
the
they
people you
don't
are-
apologize,
people you would think, the people who
because
you would
they
think,
don't
please don't
apologize,
do
we
this,
shouldn't
Pyro. Don't
expect
interrupt me
other
with
people
nothing.
to.
Okay.
Don't interrupt me with nothings.
As you go ahead.
It's not a nothing.
All right, man. Like, if you want to Kanye me, at least blow me away. But don't interrupt me with nothings.
It's not a nothing, bro. You just can't answer a simple question, apparently. Because these high up
It's
people
rhetorical,
don't
Pyro.
don't
It's
apologize, I shouldn't
Steven,
expect
it's
other people
rhetorical.
to. Like that's
It's
fucked
rhetorical.
up.
As
I was
you
saying, like
finish.
Bam made it clear, there's no privilege. I mean, if anything, I don't think who has she upset? Who has spoken up against Tandy Newton? I don't see a large outcry against her. Maybe a small minority, a vocal
Does there
minority.
need to be? Does there
But
need to be a large
Gotta
only
get Tandy up
reason-
out of here.
The only reason I think, yeah, get Tandy out of here. The only reason I think she apologized is to promote her latest role, because it was a role about prejudice, and she started going into the depth of her role. And she said, as she started talking about it, I can understand prejudice and privilege, because I, as a light-skinned woman, and my mother is dark-skinned, you know, and they look like my mother, and I feel so terrible that I'm taking roles from dark. But no one is. There's no large outcry, so I
Are you
just
saying
did
she
not
should have
see
done
the
it better?
No, at least
what is
I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it on a platform
No.
where,
So
or
you have
at
a
least
problem
where
with the
somebody's
way
asking
you have a
them.
problem with
no,
the
like,
way
it-
she
no
did
one-
it.
Like, do it in a manner which makes sense. This did
It's-
not make sense.
It seems like what from my perspective, what Azzy's saying, or my perspective at least, forget what Azzy's saying, is that
Something.
like this person, like, nobody's asking for this specifically. It seems like
No one asked.
as you guys have talked about before, like, she could have done it particularly better. There's some weird ways of how she did it. The crying, making it a woe about me. So it seems like this is a way to promote this discussion so it gets into articles so that more people are likely to see her in this movie. So it's like, I'm gonna say this thing, do this thing, and then attribute it, what she did, to like doing the movie. She talks about how, well, because of this movie and because of her doing this movie, she really realizes this thing she didn't before, which makes her feel this way, which is
So you think it's
controversial. So,
performative?
It
yeah,
makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay.
It seems like
Like,
in the
wait,
moment, realizing the severity of, you know, her past actions. We
she's
understand,
worked with Tyler Perry
you know, and
before.
it's
She knows
okay,
what colorism is.
but
She
it
knows
just
what
Yeah.
came
colorism is.
off.
Somebody
It
can be
came off.
controversial.
What
I don't
past
like-
actions?
Yeah, I don't like cringe. It came off cringe. It came off awkward. It was just unnecessary because I don't think there's no one was being antagonistic against her. In
Does somebody have
particular,
to be,
Okay,
does
but-
somebody have to
maybe
be
off,
antagonistic against you in
Did-
order for
did
you
you-
to
How,
acknowledge
I
that
mean,
you
if
are?
you're gonna talk about something as public as taking roles from other black or darker skinned black individuals, I feel like there has to be some type of outcry of like somebody's trying to cancel her, or you know, for
Why?
this. Other than it was
Why
just
does
like,
there need to be
what
the
if-
outcry? Why couldn't she just
Yeah.
feel like this is something she needed to do?
because it came off as like attention seeking, attention grabbing, and it didn't.
That
Like
can-
I said,
no,
it
that
didn't
can
come
very-
off.
that can
It didn't
very
come
well
off
be the
properly.
case.
What she said, her intent was good, but the
It can be
dynamic and the
intention.
perception of it was terrible. It didn't
It
look
can
good.
be. Yeah, it probably didn't.
Black
It probably
people
didn't
made
look the
fun of her.
greatest. It probably
Black people
didn't look the greatest.
Black people
But
said, "Who is Tandy?" They
It
didn't even know
probably
she was from the UK.
it probably didn't look the greatest, but I think that even if she did it performatively, I think it's still good because we do all kinds of shit performatively. Like white people holding up Black Lives Matter signs, a lot of them do that shit performatively. But the point is, what they're doing still brings light to an issue that needs to have light brought to it. Again, like, I don't necessarily think that it was the greatest delivery, but it's still something that can serve a greater good in the long run.
Yeah, in a
You know
very
what?
long
I'll
run.
take it.
when
I'll take
people
it. If you
usually
agree,
go- when
If
people
you
go
agree,
back,
it was performative, but it still has like a good action in the end. Then I'll take it. Like, well, I don't need to argue
don't
further than
agree
that.
that
That's
it's
a really,
performative.
that's a
you know what
great
the good
compromise.
action is?
I didn't say that. I
Issa
didn't say that
hires
it
more.
was performative.
Issa
I
gets
just said
more.
it
Starts
could have
hiring
been.
more black people.
Because you never really know. You can never really truly know someone's intent. I'm just saying that it could have been performative. Not saying that it was. Saying that, like, maybe it could have been performative.
I mean,
It's not-
they
it's
are
not
an
like
actor.
Listen,
You know, they are an actor.
with the crying over the, like, definitely performative. Like, that's
It's
like
not
you
the
an actor.
problem that it came off.
Not even-
It could have been performative. It's the problem that it came off as performative.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing,
don't
right?
think it
If
was
you're
good.
if you're on this, I'm assuming this is how it works. Yes, she was on this. She probably did this interview intentionally to promote God Country. Is it being released? No, but I also don't think it's like getting any awards. I assume the way it works is that she was probably promoting it for award season coming up. But I don't think it's nominated for anything. Not the point. Point is what Wiggle said earlier is that I don't think that this is something that she intentionally wanted to do, right? I think this question came up and it provoked something in her to say something along the lines of or to say what she said. Again, this is not something new that she said. I'm just kind of it's weird to me that this is just now getting as much attention as it is when she literally said this July 2020. Like, pretty much the same thing.
I just found
Oh,
it.
so this is what you meant. This whole time when you were saying this is like This is not something new. I thought you meant the topic of colorism. I didn't know you meant literally her comments.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
her,
thought
she,
you meant
every
the
time you were
topic.
said
saying that,
something
I was
along her
like,
comments.
every time you were saying that, I was like, yeah, colorism, it isn't a new discussion, but you're talking about directly these statements. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, directly these statements.
She apologized
from her.
twice.
I don't know. I just
No, she
I don't
didn't
understand.
apologize, but what she said, sorry.
No, you
Bam.
good. You
No,
finished.
no. Yeah,
Um,
finish. Go ahead. Jay.
Yeah, she didn't apologize. What she said was that and I'm paraphrasing here, that she has felt lucky to get the roles that she has been able to, and for the longest time it was like her and Halle Berry like getting asked to do roles because it was popular, like they were palatable for Hollywood to market.
Now I know good and well she didn't just put herself in the category with
I
Halle
know.
Berry.
I was thinking, man.
Bro.
I told you,
Come
bro.
on, sis.
Come on.
I'm like,
now,
I'm
sis.
sitting here. There's plenty.
Like,
You're talking about colorism. There's plenty of darker women that they'd pick before Tandy Newton, before they're just like light skin privilege.
Let's be honest.
against Stacey
Let's
Dash.
be
she could've
honest.
went-
I really don't
People
think
feel like I'm
so.
trolling. No,
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
First of all,
Nobody
Halle
should
Berry
check
is
you
not
for
that great of an
Tandy's apology.
actress. I'm putting it out there. I'll say it again.
It depends on which wig she got on.
Halle
A Thriller
Berry.
Oh
wig.
my god.
A Thriller wig. I'd mess with
I want to
Thriller.
like Halle
Thriller.
Berry.
That's
I really
funny.
do. I've always wanted to like her. I have not. So I don't know. But Halle, if you're watching it, I do apologize. Please forgive me.
Halle Berry is. I'm telling you, she's top 5. She's checked. I put the list in VC.
Oh, I don't give a shit about your list. No one gives a shit about your
IMDb
list.
list.
You
Number
are
three.
Caribbean.
My man out here like this is my hero, and it's the light skin.
Hey, thank you.
Like,
This is my hero.
I'm light skin user.
They power rank light-skinned celebrities. I'm telling you, bro.
She top 5 light skin quirk. She doesn't need to apologize.
Alicia Keys outranked Tandy, and Alicia Keys barely do movies.
You
How
realize how Azzy,
Somebody
do
brought up the My
you
Hero
realize how
That was
ridiculous you sound right now? You like, yo, she not even in the top 5. Why is she apologizing? Bro,
I'm
Jimmy
clearly
Jimmy Carter not in the top 5 presidents alive right now. He still gotta apologize for shit, nigga. Like, yes.
Jimmy Carter,
You're being really
Jimmy Carter
serious,
is only
and
like 5
I'm
presidents
actually-
alive. I feel like Jimmy Carter might have to
I'm
be
sorry you
by
missed.
debate.
What?
I feel like he has to be like by default the top 5.
No,
presidents alive.
no.
Aren't there only 5
Wait.
presidents alive?
We got Biden. We got Trump. We got Clinton and
W.
Bush and
The-
Obama, and then Carter. Oh yeah, so he we got 6. We got 6.
Exactly.
You said Obama twice, I feel like.
Oh, I did. Then we got
Yeah.
5. Let me run it back.
There's
Biden, Trump, Obama,
2008
Bush, Clinton,
Obama.
and Carter. No, I
Oh,
didn't.
never mind. Okay. Well, yeah.
There's
Either way,
2008 Obama, and then there's 2012 Obama, man.
These is different
Yeah,
Obama.
those are two different people too. Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's like
whatever.
Barack
I don't-
Obama and
I want to say like
Tell you, bro.
the reality is like again I like how we're like limiting down to like it's about you didn't like the way she went about it. It's not even about that. It's not about her wording. There's like at the end of the day she's still not a white woman. Like let's not act like because you're just
How
because
dare
you're
you
not
gatekeep whiteness from her?
just because you're not in a position of like just because you're not in a position of like absolute destitute doesn't mean that you're instantly like in a place of privilege. Like there is an in between of it. Like it's still hard for black women to find roles regardless of shade and complexion. And the reality is she got some roles. She does okay for herself. She makes some money financially and she can go on about her day. Like advocacy is super important, but like none of the other stuff wasn't just necessary. I also think it was like I don't think it was helpful. Like I think the strongest argument you can make is it's neutral, but I think it was potentially harmful. Like to think that like, oh, like the only way darker skinned black women can get representation if the light skinned black women step up and apologize and
It's not harmful because the effect of it is more people talk about colorism.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that don't talk about it.
I don't
White people are
Who-
not talking about
Wait a minute,
colorism.
who wasn't talking about colorism before? Somebody who wasn't talking about colorism before. It's like
Well, but it needs to be
Tandy
talked
said
about
it.
more.
Now
It needs to
I'm
be-
going to start.
Now
Tandy
it
gonna
matters.
be-
Listen, I'm
It needs
gonna
to
be
be-
real with.
It
Go
needs to
ahead.
be talked about more. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
not that nobody was talking about it before. If people were talking about
Tandy's
Black
not
Lives
helping
Matter
that
before,
conversation.
people were talking about Black Lives Matter since like who was it? Was it it was since like Obama's presidency, right? Like but we need to talk about it more. It needs to continue to be talked about.
I'm gonna
Like,
be real with you,
My
Bam.
mother is dark skinned. There's
Listen,
just so many
Azzy, we getting over how it's presented. We get it. It's presented poorly,
All right,
and that's like
all
one of the first things I
No,
said.
but
It
that's
was
why
presented
it detracts.
very
That's why
poorly.
it detracts from you guys say,
Let's just-
oh, it helps in the long term.
This,
I don't think anything she said helps in the long term, other than the conversation itself.
Andy's not advancing the conversation on colorism.
She is not
That's all.
advancing the conversation. I am on
let's-
con. I'm con. If you guys want to be pro, fine. But no, I don't think she advanced the conversation. It was a stagnant.
Said I'm con.
stagnant
I'm saying, Azzy,
interview.
let's be
you
real.
know,
here.
it just
Like,
happened, and it
this-
memed.
I'm down, Azzy.
Are you good?
Black Twitter went crazy.
Are you okay,
you-
Azzy?
So
I
I
would
kinda
say-
wanna, I think
All
Bam
right.
kind of brought up like a really good point.
I'm not listening to Pyro.
For the first time in his entire life. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Oh shit!
But,
Wow, fighting
but
words.
something
It's
I
going
do want
down
to
in the
acknowledge,
pictures.
I think the conversation about colorism and stuff is really important to have. And thinking about it now, like I've been moved a little bit. I think like definitely like while she went about it in the wrong way, and it kind of feels unsatisfying, having this discussion on and like wasn't the maybe I read it wrong, but wasn't the interview on like NPR like really like having a discussion and like a mainstream platform like that is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
However, I think there's this thing that kind of exists. There's kind of two things that are going on that exist and are like pressures put on like successful black figures. One is this idea that like she's taking roles from dark-skinned black people because she's light-skinned. That's fucking dumb. All right. There are so many.
You say
roles
that
out
until
there.
you no longer
Black
get
people-
invites on the ABE.
There's so
All of a sudden,
well,
you start seeing lighter people on the ABE,
Bruh.
and then you'd be
Well,
like, "Yo, it's
Hey, so,
real."
Can I
I know I'm good.
hold
I
on,
know I'm
hold on.
good.
Let Top
I want.
spit.
Yeah, I
So-
want
so-
top to. Yeah.
Yeah, so we already know that like I think at least, and I think we all agree that African American are probably like poorly represented and underrepresented in like media today. And like just because she got a role as a light-skinned black lady, maybe like quote unquote technically she's taking a role from a black-skinned lady, but like in reality there just should be just more roles for black women in media. I don't think the idea that like my success means I'm taking it from somebody else in this case necessarily is an idea that we should be allowing to like go into the black community, because it's like, oh, we got these finite number of black roles, and if you're a light skin lady taking up roles, you're taking them from all these dark skinned black ladies who deserve them. No, these dark skinned black ladies deserve roles as well. And the second thing that I want to kind of bring up is this idea that like in the black community, if you're not like out here slumming it, like it's the whole thing like, oh, you got to feel bad for being successful in black because you made it out of the hood kind of thing. No, like we should be like, she should be having this conversation. But I think the larger question isn't the fact that she apologized, it's the fact that she felt the need to, because there's these pressures on her, and I don't think they should exist. I don't think she should
Where
feel
the
the need
pressures?
to apologize.
No. First,
she
this is
didn't,
Where are the
she
pressures
she
from?
didn't take
gotta
roles
say,
from like
like, this is-
African American
I
women.
had a
She
question
ain't
for Tom.
African American. She's
is-
British.
This
I got a
whole
question.
thing
Having
is like
black
this is
people say
this is
that.
this is ridiculous to believe that like this person legitimately has these feelings. Like she's 49, she been in like Norbit, she been in like what, like she done movies with like Tyler Perry, etc. She's been in black films. She's talked to black people. She's 49 years old, and she has like a white husband and 2 mixed kids that are lighter skinned than her. She knows what colorism is. She's experienced this and has the knowledge of this. And then you guys are assuming that like it's 2021, she just decided to like think about this really hard because of one role, and then decided to like air that out and put it on like a message. No, it's performative. It's performative.
Or maybe because of
No.
the fact that she now has that soapbox to stand on top of, she thought, well, this is my chance to talk about this.
Yeah,
and to
so
bring
she
light to it.
performed on the soapbox.
Is she old girl from?
But
is she old
again,
girl
we've
from
already
Brooklyn?
established that even if it is performative, it still does a bit of good in the long run.
I
for
never
this
denied that. I said it's
The
performative.
little bit
It's
of good
performative.
is net negative in many people's eyes, especially to the African, a lot of the African American vocal people in media. Now, a lot of people did not care. A lot of other celebrities did not care. They were like, "What are you doing?"
If we want to be really honest here, I guess it shouldn't be a hot take, but it's gonna be a hot take. Dark-skinned black women aren't even like the people dealing with the most like underrepresentation. It's actually in particular plus size black women. Well, I guess plus size women in general, but especially plus size black women are like every black girl you ever see in a movie, dark skin, light skin, they all gonna be like a size 6 tops with like the slightest bit of
You don't
cake.
want to do this, man. You don't want to because
Don't
then we're
do
gonna go.
this.
This is like the oppression Olympics. Then it'll be like
It's not an Olympics.
It's amputee black
It's
women.
actually
It's
nah, cause then
actually-
nah,
it's
cause you gonna
actually
finish.
amputee black
I didn't
women.
know.
Nah,
I didn't know what you were
Wiggles
doing
right,
there,
because
Ben.
you gonna finish, and then I'm
I
just
don't know
gonna
what you
immediately
doing.
bring up the fact that we have plus size dark skinned black women who rarely
Yeah,
get
what-
anything,
what
and when
about-
they do,
what
it's
about
like
queer-
streamlined.
What
Monique?
about queer butch women? Right?
Thank you. You
hardly
see
ever
where we
them.
go with this?
Butch black women, you know.
You can go to like a ridiculous. You can go to a ridiculous
Exactly.
place. Or but I'm saying like on a surface level, the black women we see in movies don't look like the black women we see in real life. And that's not because they're like, oh yeah, we only put beautiful people. There are like the women we think are fine in real life aren't the women from the movies. We like thicker women.
Actually, hold up. I gotta push back on that.
Yo,
I gotta
like,
push
so
back
you're
on
just
that.
saying
So,
we as a
like,
whole
hold
like
up.
thicker women.
Hold up.
Eli, give it a try.
So I want to push back on that slightly when he said that it's not necessarily that they're all beautiful. Here's one thing I have noticed about Hollywood and about like the entertainment industry in general. You are either one of two things. You are either really, really attractive or you are really, really talented. Sometimes you are both. You know what? I'm not gonna continue with that because I was gonna give examples, but I decided not to.
Drop
They'll
the
probably put a
names.
best.
Nah, go ahead. Drop your
Yeah.
examples.
I'm waiting.
All right. Good example.
Let's see
okay?
your tier list. What's your tier list?
All right. So good example. Danny DeVito, okay, and who's an attractive actor or actress? You know what? Will Smith. We'll go for the
Will
low-hanging fruit.
Smith.
Will
There you
Smith.
go.
Smith is both.
Like
That was a bad example.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Michael B.
Arnold
Jordan.
Schwarzenegger, but I don't think. No,
Schwarzenegger.
She's a
Michael B.
great
Jordan
actor.
is good.
He's a great actor.
I actually kind of do like Michael B. Jordan, but I will go with what Prime said. But I don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger is attractive. I think he's ugly. Like even though I am straight, but I will admit he is ugly. He's an ugly MF. Like
Arnold
but
Schwarzenegger?
Wait. Are you talking
He's
about
really
him?
good.
Are
He's
you talking
really
about
good.
him now, or are you
Listen,
talking about
listen.
him during like Terminator 2? Because those are two very different people.
Or twins.
Never mind.
That's,
Never mind.
reference.
Yeah. Never mind.
Okay.
I just kind of think the guy looks like a little action figure, and it just kind of throws me off a little bit. Just
He
like
had a movie called The Last Action Figure. Like, I don't know. When he- okay,
listen. It was a low key out of my ass sort of take, but I'm gonna stick by it
Bullshit.
anyway.
You're saying that I can spend my entire life working out
I'm thinking
and
Jingle All
like
the Way.
making myself the strongest human being I can, just for Eli Monty to be like, "You ugly as fuck." You ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
boy."
Absolutely. I will
Ain't no
humble
way.
you. I will humble you like a 4-year-old child would. Okay.
Was you
ugly as
call
fuck?
Viola Davis ugly? Is that what you was going for?
Who?
Was you going for Viola Davis? Was you trying to say
No,
Viola Davis?
I wasn't going for Viola Davis. I was
Oh.
I'm not, honestly.
Wow,
I'm
man.
not
You
gonna lie.
can't say she's not
Even though-
talented.
Why are you guys
No,
giving
hold on.
names?
What
It's
is
not a
happening
winning
here?
game.
Yeah, what is
You can
happening
only
here?
win.
No,
I'm not well versed in my celebrities, so like, I had to.
I see
really
why
dig
you
in.
didn't
I
want to
really-
give the example. Now we can move past it.
Yeah, like
What
I
do
don't
you-
know
what do
why.
you mean?
Like I'm not. The point wasn't to objectify all of these women. Like the point.
No. Yeah, no. I was making just. It was a funny take. Okay, leave me alone.
No. I'm yelling at Bam because that's where all
Oh,
my
okay.
ire should go. Like,
Oh my
what
God.
was the point? like, okay. So I don't like the thought that all black people like a certain body type, right? And then what about the black women that don't fit that body type, right? There are black women who fit the model body, or not models necessarily, but like actress body type, who are slim, petite, and all that stuff. What about them?
I'm saying that like when we're having this conversation, we're having
What
this
about
conversation
me?
from
What
a
about
root per-
Jay?
So we're having this conversation from a root perspective of representation.
You gotta land a role.
And like I said, the names I said earlier, Gabrielle Union, Tika Sumpter, these are beautiful dark-skinned black women. I don't think that average dark-skinned black woman feels represented. Like, oh yeah, Tika Sumpter looks like me. Like, I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe
I
they
have
feel that
met
way.
some Nia Longs in my life. I'm not gonna lie. God has loved me enough to meet some Nia Longs on the street. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I don't know. So
I'm not
that's
gonna
my thing. My thing comes from the place of the thing we're fighting for is representation, and I don't think the people we put on screens are like
That's what she's
representative.
saying. That's what the
Here
lady
these-
said.
we could literally point like we did the example where we were joking, but unironically, we could say that for all, like, we could say that about plus size dark skinned women. We could say that about butch lesbian women.
No, but
we
I'm
could
talking.
say that
We're not
about
talking
women
about
with
niche
we
groups.
could
We're talking
say-
about the majority. I'm saying like a general.
Bam, I think the
Generalization.
problem here is that, like, no offense, because I understand where you're coming from, and I do agree. I think the problem here is that this is just not what we're addressing right
Yeah.
now.
It is. We're addressing representation.
Well, but we're specifically talking about just dark-skinned women in general, not necessarily like, you know, the
representation in general.
Dare I say the subclasses of
Representation is
women
about people
or
feeling
dark-skinned
represented.
men, et cetera,
But it's
et
like
cetera.
you guys. It's like
Do you
guys
feel
understand,
represented
like,
by Will
you guys have to
Smith?
understand, like, this is just about, like, this is an escape. This is like money. Like, this is like something that you're paying to see. Like, I'm not gonna go to a movie with the idea that, like, yeah, I want to see people that look like me, but I want to see them be beautiful. Like, I'm not gonna go to a movie and be like, I want to see ugly ass people, bro. I want to see the same motherfuckers I see at Walmart. I need that shit. So it
Yo,
makes
wait,
sense
wait.
that when you have somebody-
Walmart is entertainment in and of itself. You sure? You sure about
People
that?
show up.
Like,
Listen,
but like,
it makes sense
but nah,
when
but like,
they have
Wiggles,
somebody- when it
Wiggles'
makes sense
point
that when
is
they
that.
have somebody that
I know. I'm
like
kidding.
look
I'm kidding.
like not conventionally attractive,
Thank you.
that they're
Like,
going to make you into a stereotype within that movie because like that's what
Bro,
you're
yeah.
there for. Like
You
people are spending money to see beautiful people. Like think about like you see it with actresses. Like people go to movies and they'll be like, I want to pay money to see this actor because they're really good, this male actor. Then they'll be like, this female actor, I'm just paying because they're hot. You know, that brings money to Hollywood, so they're positioning it so they're gonna have really attractive people in the space. So you go to see the movie because that's what people spend money on.
I don't think
I can
that's
have a
true
dog
because
shit movie
because
with
we
really
learned
hot people, and it will sell really well.
but we
Yes.
learned that's not true because people love Jonah Hill and people love Donald Glover.
But
And
they
they're
love them
well,
because
okay,
they're
okay,
funny.
time out.
They love
Okay,
Jonah
wait,
Hill
wait. I'm
because
sorry.
Jonah Hill they see as funny because
Yeah.
of his size,
The
etc.
exceptions
hold
to
on.
the rule, the exceptions to the
point.
rule don't
Donald
make the rule
Glover's
okay.
ugly?
I
What?
wanna know.
I
Wait,
know.
hold on.
We're saying
No.
ping people that feel more representative of the community as a whole. Like Wiggle decided to call those people ugly. I'm not saying those people are ugly. I think they're like I think that people.
I didn't say they're ugly. I said that Jonah
wanted to-
Hill is like he's a caricature. They think he's funny because he was larger. Donald Glover, like to use him as an example, Donald Glover is liked because he's like some form of polymath. He's like a Renaissance man. It's because of his brand that people want to see him. It's because they don't see him as an actor. They see him as the guy they see in some shows. They see him as also the person they listen to with music. They see him as a director. They see him
He's
as all these
multi-hyphenate.
things. So they want to see him succeed. You know, it's like if I see Donald Glover because I'm like, that's a guy I want to throw money at. And there's people that don't do that, but have the same appeal. There's people like Chris Pratt, who people are like, I want to throw money at this guy because I just want that guy to succeed. I want to throw money at John Krasinski because I loved him in The Office, so I want him to be rich. I want to give him money so I can see him in more things. And so that's what they're experiencing. And with Jonah Hill, it's or Seth Rogen, etc. A part of that is people see these people as funny. That's part of it. You can sit next to your friend and be like, that joke was funny. And some of them will be laughing just because they think it was funny because it was said by that person. I love Seth Rogen
Seth
because of his
Rogen?
laugh. I
Yeah,
love Seth Rogen
exactly.
because he looks
This is kind of a diatribe. It was all
Like-
good. It was all good, but you know, because every time
I just
Wiggle
wanna-
speaks, he spits facts.
I
But-
just want to say, Reform Grifter in the chat. Thank you for calling me handsome because you said Donald Glover is handsome, and I got, especially when my hair was out to here, that I look like a young Donald Glover. So thank
He
you.
looks like a
Yeah,
fusion
man.
between Donald Glover and Frank Ocean.
You tell me I look like Donald all
You know
the
what?
time.
Donald
man.
Ocean?
Wiggle,
That's a
Wiggle. I
compliment.
want you.
Compliment.
Wiggle,
Glover.
I
Shout
think
out to
Frank
good-looking
Ocean is
brothers.
ugly, and I get that all the time. I get that I look like Frank Ocean all the time. I'm like, he don't look like me. He ugly. I'm not.
Okay, I actually want to
Well,
get back to the
okay,
topic.
yeah.
Like we got
But
so
I-
far away
We
from
got
this
it, we
topic.
got it.
But to
and-
bring it back,
On the topic?
I
the
think
vibe.
Ben was saying that the average black woman on the street is not feeling wholly represented by somebody like Tandy or Gabriella Union. They're not. If you think so, you can have more conversations. I
So-
don't think regular black people are. They like seeing black faces, but if you start digging deeper,
Then what does representation mean in this
yeah,
sense?
this is
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You go,
what is
Jay.
representation?
Jay,
like
please.
I see, like I felt represented when I saw people like Donald Glover or Kid Cudi in movies, you know, or Denzel Washington. Like I see
You feel represented by
people who, like-
Denzel fucking Washington? Like,
ain't
I don't know
that
where
handsome.
that's
why?
from.
I'm
By
sorry,
Denzel
Azzy. You ain't that
Washington.
handsome. You ain't that charismatic. You ain't that smart. You ain't that well spoken.
Pyro,
You,
you don't
there's
like
a lot of things.
Pyro, you don't feel
Pyro,
represented.
I'm gonna need you to turn the fire down a little
Azzy
bit.
here, he is
Turn-
definitely
Yeah,
turn that
man.
stove down.
charismatic, all right? He can draw everybody in the
Turn
room.
that
to his
stove
best
up.
opinion.
I get called Denzel a lot of the times, if mind you. Okay. All right. So and they're being polite. I know I don't look like Denzel. I have family members who get confused for Denzel Washington. So my family look good. So shut up.
You know, after
Anyway.
that burn from Pyro, pun intended, I like that. I like that confidence, that resurging confidence that just came back. You know.
Yeah,
We gotta
you
help
can't
our
stop
brothers.
me.
We
I'm
gotta
a-
lift
I'm a
our
brick
brothers
wall,
up.
bro.
Sometimes it takes a little tough love. I raised Azzy up a little bit.
I was about to say, Pyro.
But
I was
because
about
All I'm
to
saying
say.
is, if
Because
some of you
I feel that this
motherfuckers
is
start
all-
getting represented more in media,
Oh
in
yeah,
Hollywood,
like
I'm gonna just stick
Yeah,
to my
keep that
Netflix
petty.
subscription.
Like I'm
AMC
like
can
Wiggle
go to hell.
was 100% right. I don't want niggas that look like me running from like trying to save like people like from dinosaurs and shit. Hell no, like you gonna die. You gonna absolutely die if I gotta save your ass and drag.
Listen,
Is
I don't.
I gotta push
what
somebody
it
with
back
sounds
'cause I
like
can't
is that
have- I can't have-
representation ends up being right a person that you could actually be mistaken for, right? Like that
No, it
has
doesn't have
like
to be
a
that far.
similar body type, it has a similar skin color, like fits all these like discrete categories, right? And random categories. I mean, you could say like maybe their eyes are as wide as yours or some shit like that, right?
No,
all these
this is
discrete
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
a person with like
Let's bring
a
it
similar like wide flat nose. That's what it sounds like. This like
This
this
is a
sort
big
of
straw man.
representation, right?
When I say
representation isn't only.
This
I
point,
don't feel.
no, I'm seriously
I don't feel-
confused. I don't know what representation means to you guys. Like, what is this?
representation?
When I say-
Representation to me, when I brought up Donald Glover, I didn't bring him up because I look like Donald Glover, even though racist people say so all the time. I say I felt represented by Donald Glover because of his personality and his sense of humor, and his background and his dynamic skill base. Like he represented somebody who was downplayed for the large majority of his, you know, of his time as a celebrity. People didn't like him, and to the point where he just like he stopped bathing, you know, he stopped cutting his hair. And then when he started blowing up, and then all of a sudden now he's a great actor. He's somebody like
I'm sorry. I'm
aspires
sorry.
to. Nobody.
No, this is
Yes,
not
black
Donald
people.
Glover.
Black
This
people.
is not Donald Glover's career, though. You know, he wrote for 30 Rock for years.
Yeah, but nobody
Um,
knew that.
and
What
he-
black person knew that? What black
I did.
person you had a conversation
did.
with? What
Kids,
other
they
Black
black
have
people didn't
to
write
right
Star
No,
here.
no. I do not. We're special.
No,
all right?
yeah.
No,
Jay
no,
Cook
that's
isn't
not how knowledge
representative.
works. That's
Jay
not
Cook
how you
isn't
think
representative,
you just asked
obviously.
me works. That's
Stop.
not how that works.
A lot of normal African American individuals did not know. They clowned
Okay,
Donald
well,
Glover.
then why
the
are you
longest.
saying
They didn't
this
know his
lie?
repertoire.
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
So black people were out here rooting for Donald Glover since the beginning?
No,
no,
Absolutely not.
but that's not
no. The point was that he has like he's been making money. He's really successful.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not
Had
saying
a
he wasn't.
following.
If you
He
got that,
didn't
if
just
you,
come
I
out
wasn't
of
saying he was
nowhere.
never successful. I didn't say he wasn't successful. I'm
But
saying
success is a form of love. If you're making mad money, you know that you're wanted. You know that that day, if you died, the world
yeah,
lost.
he was wanted by white people.
If you,
And
But
if you-
the
if
reason,
if you
the reason-
dude, if you're unemployed and you have nothing else and you don't have family or nothing, right? Like what? Like you have to convince yourself to stay alive to do something. Donald Glover, every day he's getting paid to be alive, exorbitant amount of money. He can look to someone right next to him and be like, "Oh, I'm valued more than them by society." And so the idea that at that point he's dealing with a level of depression, I can understand, but it's not going to be at the same level as someone who is not valued at all, whose society doesn't value them at all, that they don't have the money, they don't have the means, they may not have family that appreciates them. He knows he's appreciated. Society is like, I want you to be alive. Here's a bunch
Yeah,
of
but
money.
the people
You're
he
good for what you
desired
do.
to appreciate him did not.
I'm not
The
sure.
target-
I'm not
the
sure if
How do you
mental health
know
works
that?
He
that way.
desired to appreciate him
I-
did not.
I'm
And
not
he's
sure if mental health
very
works that
vocal
way,
about it.
right? Like, I'm not sure if depression like works in that rational sense. Like, I can look at my bank account and see value, right? I don't know. I'm not a person who's
Yeah.
clinically depressed, so
Getting paid
my
doesn't mean
understanding it
you're
doesn't work the
appreciated.
same. My understanding is it doesn't work that way. So, but I'll just put that out there. I
For the
don't know.
individual, it may not work that way, but at the same time, like, they are valued by society. That's the fact.
Sure.
It's the fact of the matter.
Just to bring him back before I
no,
was
hold on,
interrupted. Representation can be personality, it could be body type, it could be background, it could be the skills you have, the industry you come from. Representation is it's a plethora of things.
It could also be faked. It could also be faked. You could be somebody that nobody knows about. Nobody knows anything about your personal life, but you represent certain roles in movies, and you don't let anyone know about your personal life. So now there's a bunch of people within your country that see you a certain way that they want to see you as. And you just never have to break that veil where everyone thinks of you in a perfect. So there could be like Denzel Washington you're talking about. There could be, what if we never knew anything about Denzel Washington's personal life? There'd be so many people out there who are like, I see something in Denzel and me. I like that guy. I want to give something. I want to give something to Denzel. I love that guy. And then you could find out later through his personal life, he has nothing to do. He doesn't share any of the same beliefs as you. He's just an actor. So it's like you can get that through faking it. You know, it doesn't have to be real. But I appreciate what you're saying about Donald Glover, because to me, a part of what made him like cool to me was that he felt real. He felt like a guy that when he was saying something, it was what he really felt and what he really meant. And I like the idea that he was willing to put away one project to focus on something else, even if I disagreed and I was willing to pay money, because it meant to me that he's willing to take risks on himself. He was willing to invest in himself and his own vision, and I like that.
Something that y'all said earlier that was like really true is sometimes there's people you just want to see win, and I think that's fine. And I think as Black people as a whole, whenever we see Black people, other Black people get money, other Black people in positions, what we call it like, oh, I want to feel represented. You don't like I don't believe the average person feels represented by seeing Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson in movies, but we want to see them. We want to see Black people win.
That's Floyd Mayweather right there.
I'm lying, bro. I love Samuel Jackson. Makes me feel amazing as a toxic Black man who just you know.
Hold on a second. But I'm saying that is a different.
Don't do that.
That is a completely different conversation than the original framing. We're saying that like we need dark-skinned Black women because we want people to feel represented. If we want people to be represented, the people we're advocating for are not the people that are going to make you feel represented. What's your color from Black Panther? What's her name?
You have no idea what the word representation means.
Yeah,
though. so
Lupita Nyong'o.
especially when it comes to media,
Lupita
right?
does not make people feel represented.
Really?
What do you wait? Time out. Wait, I just gotta say, we're being really fucking dumb right here, because when you're talking about, go ahead, Top Dolphin.
I was gonna say feeling represented when it comes to like art and like comedy and not comedy. When it comes to like media, doesn't mean that this dude right here, who I am today, can be on that screen, right? That's not what representation means. That's not what feeling represented means. We use like actors and actresses as like ideals that we could like project our like what we want to be onto that person. So we don't want to see the person who we are. We want to see the person who we theoretically could be on that screen. So when we're saying representation, like a really good example, like I love to talk about representation when it comes to like jobs. I always talk about how I want more nerdy Black people in media. And it's not because I want somebody who looks like me who works in IT to be on that screen, but I want a Black person, right, who kind of looks like me, but is probably better looking, probably more successful, to be represent like the Black community in this field, so that like when I think of something like IT worker, it's not a bunch of white guys. There's a person that kind of looks like me who I can project myself onto, who comes to mind. Right. So when we say representation, we don't need people who
like
look
as
like
he said, I mean, as he said,
people.
nerdy. Yep. Like if someone nerdy, like you just because somebody's Black, if they from Compton, they from some place, like that doesn't necessarily, just because you can say like we're both Black, like, oh, you must feel represented by this person. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we oversimplify to like our skin color equals representation, and that's not true, and that's not what we're actually trying to convey.
Sometimes when I see the Black person doing he's bowling at a bowling
there's a part of that shit, you know, like this is a part of that whole like I put on my city shit where like when you see his city's winning,
like I'm going to be real, like as he's absolutely right. Sometimes it is the case, like sometimes like when I see like fucking Samuel L. Jackson up in there as the best fucking Jedi in the series, I'm like, yo, that's what like that represents us. Cause like the purple lightsaber just being the smartest nigga in the whole damn show. Yes, I will claim that. Sometimes that is the case. Sometimes it is that fucking basic. It's not a lot of the times, and it
because
shouldn't
Wait,
be
so-
that way.
so
But
Top
sometimes it
Dolphin.
is.
Top Dolphin, you mean you want Tucker from Danny Phantom? I'm kidding.
Monty,
Don't.
you got
True,
you got chill.
100%.
I'm sorry,
I'm sorry,
I'm sorry.
This
I want
guy
more
from
Fillmore.
Hardison from the
You
show
got chill.
that I watch. He's amazing.
Fillmore.
No, but like when we do the whole representation thing, it is as simple as like skin color, or because it's not the fact that a lot of times it's not the fact that somebody like who looks like me does this thing. It's the fact that like when you think of doctor in your brain, everybody thinks of either like white or Asian dude probably, right? And
You
like,
didn't watch
and then when you look to
Grey's
TV,
Anatomy?
right?
I think it's Turk.
I've watched Grey's Anatomy, but like in general, right? But if when you go to TV, right, theoretically, like this is not true because there are some black doctors. When you go to TV and you go to see like let's say like 50 years ago, you go to see like a doctor on TV, and every single doctor is white, and there's no black doctors on TV, right? It's a lot harder for you to do. It's not that you there isn't somebody who looks like you and acts like you and is like the person that you are. It's the fact that there's literally nobody or very, very few people who are the skin color that you are, who doing the doctor thing, which subconsciously leaves in people's minds that like black people can't be doctors. It's not like I can do this. It's more that like the exclusion of certain people in certain types of media makes people feel like they can't do something.
I don't think it's that strong. I don't think it's as strong as like I can't do it. I think it's just like why would I want to? You know, like there could be fields that are like where you don't you're not represented, and it'll be like why would I even want to do that if I'm never gonna be around people that are like me type thing. Like so it's like why would I want to be a black doctor if I could be a black something else and make money and be around people that are like me. Like, why would I don't really relate, versus like, I can't do it. It's like one of those things. Even though that's a weird example, doctors are...
And it's like,
Dolphin, the only thing is...
Maybe 50 years ago it was that strong. And maybe it's just that like today it's a little bit weaker because we've been fighting against some of these things. And
yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
The only thing I would say is like, all you're saying is that somebody... All you're saying is someone black being on there is better than no one black being on there, which I completely agree. But the reason I'm pushing back further against what you're saying is because why is there a strong push against the concept, which we did a Prime panel about the concept of black British workers taking all of the black American representation, because it's not enough to just share the skin. There's also people also look for a share of culture. People also look for a share of like a deeper depth to their character than just the skin color. It's not skin deep, the level of representation we're looking for.
Isn't that the problem though?
We just want a black person from America now, right? And the reason that is probably because black people from America have like a unique experience, and we're like assuming that this person is relatable to us in any way, shape, or form. When in actuality, people like fucking Donald Glover went to fucking arts high schools, like.
I did.
But you're seeking that relatability.
Go ahead.
That's what you're admitting. You're admitting people are seeking that relatability.
I'm an artist. I'm an actor. I went to an arts high school, and I just wanted to point something out too. I'm not like a big actor like by any means, but if
you were holding out on me.
Right? Honestly, I'm just surprised you all the time, right, Prime? But the thing is, like, I can concur though. Like I know this is kind of like a little bit of a shift from the topic, but I wanted to get this in earlier. Like as someone who's somewhat at the very least worked in the field, like I do think that like representation like of, and this might be piggybacking off of what Bam said earlier. They want people that look a certain way, and oftentimes, like especially where I've worked, like you black folks aren't up there. If you are, it's like one of y'all that's up there on stage doing all the big numbers for all the guests and customers and shit. And then the rest of y'all that don't look the way we are expecting you to look, y'all are gonna be, in other parts doing other things. We'll put you in a costume. You know what I'm saying? Like they want you to look a certain way in theater and in performance. And I think the more people that bring light to that, the better. However, like I did say earlier, Bam, I don't necessarily think that different subcategories. I don't want to say that because I feel like that sounds dehumanizing. Of Black people getting representation is what we're talking about right now. But anyways,
Well, I mean, but I think that's important because
it is important. It is important. It's just not.
I mean, if we're gonna get into representation, then those qualities, those categories are important. Like
we're dealing with a subcategory.
To bring it back,
women of all shades are Black women. Black women of all shades are still Black women.
Yeah.
But now we're discussing the subcategory of darker Black women, and I'm saying so we're already digging into a subcategory, and I think the reason we're doing that is because the majority of Black people, like I don't know the percentage, are probably closer to the darker shade, the darker end of the spectrum. So we want to be the majority of Black people probably want to feel more represented in that way. The same way the majority of Black people are probably larger than the size 2.
And I read somewhere that Tandy was it? How do you guys say it? Tandy was saying that she was getting vitriol from African American women because she was the light skinned African from Britain. She was the UK Black actor, who is filling in for roles that people believe African American actors should get. In fact, even Samuel Jackson, when David was at Oyelowo, how do you say his last name? I think I butchered that. But when David
from Get Out,
no, he was casted for Selma.
Yeah.
And Samuel Jackson said, "We have
Selma.
Plenty of Black actors here in America who probably could do a better job, but they chose the Black UK actor."
So I don't understand. I don't get this. I think this is so fucking weird. Like Wiggle didn't know that Tandy was British, right? Until like this story, right? Until we.
I forgot. Honestly, I blame it. I agree with Jay Cooks, and I blame it on the fact that Westworld is a piece of shit show that made me wait so many years for another season.
That's not what I said.
No, that's not what you said. I never said it's a shitty show. I said it's a piece of shit for making me wait this long for another season, which you would agree with if you liked the show.
I do.
The show has waited a really long time.
Yeah,
right?
It's true.
So for me, I was like, damn, I don't remember what she sounded like, but I'm like, damn, every movie I've seen her in is an American shit. And I was like, damn, it was weird to see her sound a certain way. And I was like, damn, she really do be British.
But
now that I thought about
understand
it,
how
what
means that you're not being represented.
What's the confusion?
Maybe what should be maybe I would maybe have more sympathy for you if you were doing it on a class-based issue, right? Like, okay, this woman grew up rich. I don't know how she grew up, but she grew up rich, right? And then she can't share my experience. That would make a lot more sense than like, oh, she's like from the UK, that place where African individuals are free and never face any discrimination, right? Like the promised land that we've all been dreaming of. So of course, yeah, they couldn't relate to me. Like, what is this? And most of them have a convincing American accent. So when you're seeing them on screen, right? Most people don't actually investigate actors, right? When you're seeing them on screen, hey, that's a person who looks like me. That's it.
That's why I brought up the fact that any vitriol that she was receiving was probably a vocal minority who did know she was from the UK. And like I said, African American women, according to her, were her biggest haters because she's, like Wiggle said, in all these Americanized roles, with an American accent, pretending to be American, but she's from the UK. Meanwhile, we have a bunch of American actors who are still looking for roles.
Okay, so if being American
and Jacob, come on, you've been talking a lot, Assy. I just want to keep. I want to get
being American.
Let me finish.
If being American,
I'm gonna let you go. Let me finish. I'm gonna let you go. There was plenty of people who were mad about Black Panther. There was Africans who were saying you have all these African people who could fill these roles of being being of Wakandians, right? Being from Wakanda, but you're using African American actors with their terrible African accents. There will be no challenge today. Like that was so the Black Panther. Like there was so much pushback against that. They said these actors there's so many African actors who could have filled those roles. Like, this isn't something new. There's always, like, within the plethora of black cultures, like there's always this pushback with Caribbean versus African, Caribbean versus American, American versus European. Like, there's always this pushback, especially within media, when you have like certain roles that are supposed to be a certain culture. Matter of fact, even in video games.
Yo, are you done
like,
yet?
People are saying, you should
yeah.
have
Oh my god, please!
localized
It's
let me
like
finish.
amazing.
Let me
No,
finish.
no,
Let
no.
me
You got
finish.
it. No,
Hold
you
on,
couldn't. No,
hold
I'm
on,
sorry.
because it's
No,
not
I'm
that
sorry.
hard to
I'm gonna cut
understand.
off.
Not that hard to
Azzy,
understand.
Azzy,
I was listening. Hold
Azzy,
on.
Azzy.
No time.
He's
Not done
oh
yet,
my
man.
God.
He's got to read the scroll.
All right. Jay Cook, go ahead, please. Thank you.
I lost where the point was. But,
Damn.
if I guess I have two questions. So if being American is a problem, then what are we gonna do about the Zoe Saldanas of the world? Because this is an actress who has put on um uh darker skin, or she's put on makeup to appear darker skin. She did that for her role in she was Nina Simone. She
Nina,
did
yeah.
Nina, yeah. And then also, if I guess I'm confused as to who you blame. Are you blaming the actor for taking these roles, or shouldn't we be blaming the larger system? Like, I think it was Eli who said that. Like,
Yep, it was me. It was me. I'll take credit.
Why
I'm sorry.
Why are we gonna blame the actor? No, you're fine. Why are we gonna blame the actor for getting the bread that they need to come to the platform and level that Newton is at, right? And why don't we blame the casting directors and the market and the directors who cast these people?
Yeah, go ahead, Azzy. I do want to hear, because we got a limited amount of time on this topic. I want to hear from other people. So Azzy, make it quick, and then we can move on.
Don't do that. Nah, that
No,
was
make it
low.
quick. I'm
I'll
sorry.
be
No,
honest.
you gotta
Yo,
It
be
was
he
literally
gave
two
you-
questions.
We got
You
to
gave
be
you the
limiter.
limiter.
All the diatribes, you guys go on for long periods of time.
No one goes as
Go
long as you. No one.
No one,
When
no
I
one
do
goes
it-
on for 10
Oh my
minutes at a
God, we're
time.
dying. Shut
Rohan,
oh my
you brought
God.
up video games.
Like,
You brought up
that's
video games, my
ridiculous.
guy.
Anywho, like, oh my goodness. Can you ask the question again? 'Cause I was a little upset. I was upset.
Okay,
He
question
doesn't
number
listen to
one.
you.
Question number one. What are we gonna do about the Zoe Saldana? Actually, no, that one's gonna be too longer. I'll ask the second question first. So, are you gonna blame? Are you in your hypothesis? This is a simple answer. Are you blaming the actors for taking roles, actors like Newton for taking these types of roles, or are you gonna blame the system of the casting directors and how the market works and the directors who have the hiring power for these roles?
You would blame the people who are hiring, but you don't blame the person who's taking the role.
Okay.
And I'm not one of those vocal minority who are upset at black
You
actors.
answered the question. Okay. Then the first question is, if we're not going, if you want to take out the American part, how are we going to treat the Zoe Saldanas of the world who put on darker skin makeup in order to act in roles like she did in Nina Simone?
Whoa.
Listen, for first off, I didn't even know Zoe Saldana was doing that. That's problematic. But
This role is
isn't
like,
she still black? I mean, like,
she is.
but I don't have a. I really just to be honest, to be fair, to be honest, I don't have a problem with Zoe, and I don't have a problem with Zoe Saldana, because she hasn't come out and apologized for has Zoe Saldana ever voiced like something as awkward as Tandy?
So I could
She
slap him
Wait,
out.
do you not think that she should come out and apologize for doing
So like,
I'm not
what-
the type-
what-
So
what-
your
what-
problem-
very
no,
honest.
no,
I'm
no.
not the
Let me
type
take
to
it,
be
let me
upset
take it, let me
just to
take
be
it, let me
upset.
take it.
Jake,
I'm not the
go
type
ahead.
to
So
be
your
upset just to be
problem-
upset.
No, you're not upset.
There's
just
gonna
to
be
upset.
other
Jay,
individuals.
Cook,
I
Jay,
can't speak to
your
that because
problem-
I'm
Jay,
not upset.
I want to hear what Jay has to say. Jay.
Your problem, Azzy, is that this is a British black woman talking about taking roles from American black women. Is that correct? That from based on what you said, is that right?
You're confusing this as a point that I'm making for myself. This isn't a personal stance I have. I'm saying there's there has been pushback. Like I brought up Samuel Jackson getting mad at David for taking a role for Martin Luther King in Selma. There is a collective of people, even actors,
Samuel
who have
Jackson's too old
voiced
to
that
play
they
that
don't
role.
like. Huh?
Samuel Jackson was too old to play that role. He does
It's
not
not
fit
about
the age
no. He's not
bracket.
saying I want the role. He's saying that there was other black actors in America who could have took that role.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't. What's the confusion here? You're
uh.
confused that there's black people in other countries taking
No, I'm
roles.
trying to figure out. I'm confused by what your stance is.
What, this is
So, Wiggle actually just posted a great fucking link, cause yes, to the question about like Zoe Saldana talking about that role where she like darkened her skin to play it. She did come out and talk about her regrets. He's posted it in the private chat now, and like it's amazing to me that your answer to that is
NBC.
that like she's black. It's in the chat for StreamYard.
The one place where you're
Oh,
not going to
well,
fucking find
okay.
it. Thanks for
I
that.
heard she doesn't always. I heard she always doesn't identify as black.
All right,
That's
so
the
then
whole
there's a
thing.
problem. I personally don't have any gripes with Zoe Saldana because I wasn't privy to the knowledge. I'll be real. Like I'm not one to follow actors.
It wasn't a big
I
movie.
don't really
So
care.
you might not have heard.
I'm not one to get mad just to be mad. Like I wasn't even mad that somebody from the UK is taking these roles. Like I said, like as long as I'm the person to say like I root for black people, you know, as long as they have roles. But if she's out here darkening her skin, you know what? Does she lack the capability to get darker, and that's why she put on dark skin makeup?
Not the capability of getting darker.
Is that,
Is
wait,
that
Wiggle
where
is
I just
really dark.
nah, time out. I just
And
need
Zoe
to ask.
Saldana would pass the paper bag test. Like
No, she would not.
Are we really about to
She
go
is
down
not
this
white
route
passing.
right now?
Right.
Like,
Can't
Does
get
it
a
really
tan? She can't
matter?
stand out in the
If
sun.
anything, she's
Why-
Spanish.
why
y'all
she put on black
really about to
people?
be these weird dudes going down this route. I want y'all to be clear
But
about
this
that.
is weird because
Does
now we're
that
talking about.
matter?
It's like black people putting on blackface. She's black.
You can still do
Yeah, but,
blackface.
like,
I'm black too. I can do blackface. If I put on like
Yeah.
fucking skin color paint to like look like you or Prime, congratulations, I've achieved blackface.
Did y'all watch them? Them definitely had a dude in blackface.
I feel that rhetoric is like stupid.
I-
I feel that's really dumb.
I feel
When
like you
people
could just
put
go
on
out in the sun for an afternoon. You look like me. I don't know why we should. Okay, anyway.
Yeah,
I'm only
exactly.
slightly.
Y'all
And
say
I'm
that.
only
Y'all say that from
darker
like.
than
Y'all
you.
say that because I'm in a. Y'all always say that because like I'm in a dark ass room. Like y'all don't
Okay.
understand the shadows out. I got a blackout curtain, man. Like
All right.
the sun don't reach
Show,
me.
show,
Oh, y'all are
show
not
me
that
your
light.
thirst trap
Ah,
pictures
they're
later
trying to
on,
give
and
him
we'll
my
see.
skin
All right.
cancer.
Yeah, that
Um,
explains a lot.
Weird.
okay. Well, anyway. All right. I don't know. That was weird. Like.
That was weird.
All parts of this has been so weird.
It's like have you ever heard like any Asian? It's like
Oh boy.
if you have a
This is
role
gonna go left.
about somebody.
I say,
No,
please don't.
because I watch a lot of Chinese film,
Oh boy.
and sometimes you'll hear.
You got a
This is
Chinese
how my
friend to go with
grandpa.
it.
This is how my
Yeah, I
grandpa
got
starts
plenty of
racist
Chinese
comments.
friends.
Okay.
For that
I got
Obama.
plenty of Chinese friends, and
I
they'll
say,
be
please
like, "This
don't.
is I got Japanese. I got a lot of Asian friends, right?" And they'll get upset when other Asians are playing like a role that's supposed to be localized. Like if you're from the Philippines, but you got a Chinese person playing somebody who's supposed to be Filipino, you will hear people say, "This is weird. We have Filipino actors. Why aren't they using the Filipino actor?" I don't get the confusion.
I don't disagree with that actually, but it was like
The
it was a
one good
weird
point
way of
from
getting to
Azzy.
that. It was a
Well,
weird way of getting to that
just
point.
don't understand. I don't understand how this is like being lost in the sauce. Like if you have a role that's localized, it's like somebody you like I was trying to say.
got you. We don't
I'm
need
bring
to
up,
bring-
like, if you have somebody
Don't do it
voicing-
again. We don't need you
if
to
have
ramble again.
somebody, shut up, Pyro. If you have somebody who is voicing a character
Okay,
from Jamaica,
okay, Grandpa.
but you have somebody who's not Jamaican doing the voice acting role,
We
is
got the
that
point
not
the first
weird?
time.
Was
If you have
Grim?
somebody who's supposed to be Jamaican, but you got like a white person
Yes,
playing,
Grandpa. It's
I mean,
weird. We
Name a
get it.
Jamaican actor.
Was Grim Jamaican? And Billy and Mandy?
Was
Was it
No.
dude black?
maybe
Probably
I
not.
don't know. No,
What about
he's-
Cinnamon from Cinnamon Toast Crunch? or apple cinnamon. Was it Apple Jacks?
No,
I got
Apple
the
Jacks.
cinnamon.
Keep going.
It's the
Exactly.
cinnamon.
Let's break this down.
I have no idea. Was these actually black? Was that blackface? Should we sue? Was this?
Was Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy blackface? I mean, he was white.
I mean,
was
it
white
was-
skeleton.
A white guy voicing
Sa-
Jamaican.
Samurai Jack was yellow face because it was a black guy doing an Asian
Well, I
accent.
remember on a panel we were talking about that. I brought up Samurai Jack. Like, it's not the representation. It's a black guy playing an Asian character. Yet we don't complain. We don't complain about it. No one complains about that. Y'all say
I didn't know he was doing the accent. Like
y'all saying it now.
Like it's broken English.
We're willing to let it pass because we like the show. Let's not beat around the bush. If it was a whack show, people would be like,
"Ooh, Drake did do blackface."
People would say something, but because we like Samurai Jack, because we like Samurai Jack, we don't have any gripes over the fact that his voice actor was black. It was a cool show.
I do. I didn't know. That's actually the kind of sketch.
What do you mean? I've been telling.
Actually, I did know that. Yeah, he was.
I didn't know.
Like the broken English, like the accent. Like, what do you mean? I cool. Like, I don't know. That's a little.
You see how they're coming after Aquafina? They're coming after Aquafina for her black scent.
You don't have a black scent. Ain't she from?
You don't know about Aquafina?
I know who Aquafina is. But that's definitely not a black scent.
I saw her in Raya. I saw her in Raya and the Last Dragon, and then that was just kind of it.
She did the black
Crazy
scent
Rich
in.
Asians?
Yeah, they're coming after her because she deleted her Twitter for doing a black scent. People were like mauling her online.
I didn't hear about that.
What?
Wait, am I pronouncing the name wrong? Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi?
No, this is from her show.
It's Shang-Chi, but
Yeah, from the Marvel
Comedy
movie.
Central.
Not Shang Tsung. Oh my god.
Bruh.
Like, what is this? Wiggle, please.
I don't know why we brought up Shang-Chi, but okay.
Because she's in it. She does the black woman role, like the funny black woman role for Asian movies.
They call it the black scent.
Okay,
How do y'all not know this? This is
This
is why this is so weird. Like, how are we missing this? This is
Hey, man,
funny.
Is Wilco know he's muted, or is Wilco talking to us?
I'm on a different side of Twitter.
I didn't know I was muted. Oh my
Wiggle,
god.
you're muted the whole time.
You've been muted this entire time.
I'm sitting here going, Shang-Chi.
Yeah, bro, I just did it. Shang-Chi.
I'm like,
Oh my
dude.
bad.
And then on top of that, like, how are you gonna say it's the black woman funny person role? No, it's just the funny friend role.
No, it's not just the funny friend role.
It's just the funny friend
No,
role.
it's the black funny friend role.
The black funny friend.
Well,
why is it?
No.
Can we like make this the second topic? Because I want to explore this. Because like
The black
don't
funny. Oh, sorry.
Booksmart had a funny friend role. There's a funny friend role. Like Seth Rogen used to play a lot of funny friend roles, and then there's a black woman funny friend role.
What's the black woman funny?
Mean?
What's
It's the funny friend role with all
I
the
get it.
animation and neck action.
What's a black comedian's name from Vacationers on Hulu?
Oh,
Who was in the movie with
Lil J, not Lil J, with the glasses.
Yeah, with the glasses. He plays the funny friend role all the time, and he did it in Get Out.
I don't think funny.
You don't think he's funny? He did it in
Okay, we're running out of time for this, so we're gonna move on. Like, what? Black? All right. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Yeah,
I'm a DC fan. That's why
I'm a Marvel fan. I love. All right. Anyway, that's fine.
Why would y'all claim either one of them?
Yeah,
Race.
Yes.
DC Master Race.
Okay, those are those dos.
DC Master Race.
God, Eli.
Y'all out here with
the
dumbest takes.
This man is trying to get himself uninvited so hard. Like, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job, Eli.
Y'all should learn. Learn after the Nazis.
Superman and Green Lantern are my favorites.
Bro, you can say that, bro, but like, you should know your history. Marvel won that Civil War, okay? The DC tried to secede, and Marvel was like, "Fuck no, get your ass back here." And now you got Marvel on top and DC somewhere on the bottom.
Okay. All right. Let's. Sorry. We gotta
fight over that shit. Okay.
We gotta.